Hey guys, this is Stali FT with Close.io. Let's talk about how to build a not to-do list, right? So we've all had this. I'm sure you guys had this as well, is the burden of the to-do list. Like, I'm trying to be a pretty focused individual, and I've had this habit for a while where I try to start my day creating a to-do list. And one of my biggest struggles was always to keep that to-do list focused, right? So I would start with like one or two items, and I would try to say not more than 3 or 4 things that I want to do today. And inevitably during the day, that to-do list would just like slowly but surely grow. I would be reminded or remember something and add it to the list, and then something will be coming up in a discussion, I would add it to the to-do list. And I'm just too ambitious, right? I'm too ambitious of a person to keep my to-do list small. I always feel like I can add one more thing and one more thing and one more thing, and sometimes in order to excuse myself, I would actually make some time estimates on if I really constrained myself on time, how much time would it actually take for me to get through the to-do list? Usually I'd be pretty good at fooling myself into thinking, well, this is only 3 hours of focused time. I should be able to actually do this. But 3 hours of focused time is pretty hard to do, right? During a day, when you're running a business, when people call you, email you, people interrupt you, there's crisis, there's things that have a certain sense of urgency. It's really hard to actually get 3 hours of fully uninterrupted focused time. So more often than not, my to-do list would grow during the day and be way too big and then create all kinds of stress and defocus and ultimately really not help me focus more, get more shit done, but actually just create a lot more stress and emotional turmoil and not really help me propel forward and be focused and create more clarity during my day. So the other thing about to-do lists that I hate and just recently realized is that everything in life is really about momentum. Once you put something in motion, it gains more and more energy and more and more momentum with it. And to-do lists are the same way. Once you start adding a list and you add one item, a second, and a third, the natural tendency is just to keep adding items to the list. That's the natural progression of life and energy, and that's where naturally the momentum is going. So just recently, I started thinking, and I don't know where it came from, I probably read somewhere or heard something that prompted me to think about a not to-do list, creating a list of things I'm not going to be working on today. And something magical happened. Every morning, instead of starting with my to-do list, I would start with my not to-do list. What are things that I kind of want to work on, that I think I need to work on, that I have an urge to work on, but today I'm not going to have the time. I'm not going to take the time to actually worry or think or be concerned about these items. And we'll start creating a not to-do list. What are all the things I'm not going to be working on today? Are things that I'm not going to be spending time on? And once I had a few items on the not to-do list, I would create a to-do list, but the to-do list would typically just have 1 or 2 items on it. And usually it was much easier for me to stop at that point and actually get started with my day. And here's the magic. Every time something new came up, a new idea, a new urgency, something that I'd forgotten, I had a place to put it. I put it in the not to-do list. So that shit started growing. The not to-do list started growing, not my to-do list for the day. And you know what else? Every time I got distracted or I got into this emotional state where I lacked clarity and I started just randomly working on things, it prompted me back to my not to-do list and I asked myself, is that shit on there? And when it was, I stopped working on it immediately. And when it wasn't, I asked myself, should it be? Right? And you know what? I started becoming a lot more productive. Not to say that this is going to work forever. It might just be a short-term hack. It might be just something that works right now, but it's not really going to have longevity as part of my new habits. But it's definitely something that I want to share with other people because I see results with them right now. And you know what the beauty is? This doesn't just apply to myself as an individual. We started now applying this to the entire business. Like actually looking at our product and saying, not just what should be our roadmap, what should be our anti-roadmap. What are the things we're not going to do? And that actually is a really hard discussion. There's all kinds of things that we put on the not to-do list that prompted all kinds of people in the team to start fighting against it and being like, well, it's going to be really hard to not do this. And these are the kind of discussions that are good. These are the kind of discussions that prompt real clarity and that make real prioritization happen. Not having a roadmap that can build indefinitely into infinity and include everything in the universe, but actually having an anti-product roadmap, an anti-to-do list, a not to-do list. What are we never, ever going to work on? And now, if you can't change your mind, can't change anything in the world. So maybe 3 months down the line, we'll want to change the not to-do list or our entire roadmap for the product. But it doesn't mean that we shouldn't put that shit on there right now. And it really creates so much clarity and really helped us as a team think about our product, our roadmap, our company. We're only 6 people at Closeout, and we're servicing thousands of people. And it's scary. The business is pretty big and growing even bigger. And we have really huge ambitions. We have to prioritize. There's no way for us to grow to the size we want to grow if we always keep adding things to the to-do list, create more and more stress, create more and more noise, and create more and more unclarity just by sheer amount of things that we're including in our daily to-dos and in the things we want to build. So try it out. Try out a not to-do list, see if that actually works, see if that dynamic and that momentum works more to your advantage, and let me know in the comments, or come back and share some of your own productivity hacks and things that you've tried that are kind of out of the ordinary or going against kind of common wisdom and common practices, and let's all get more productive, more focused all together.